What's going on, guys? I hope you're having a great day out there, guys. We are going to get the ARRMA Italian fixed up today at the little skate park bash. This thing was flying awesome out there. But as you guys seen, it's always that last little jump, that last little one where you either try to send a little bit more or do something different, that it always causes stuff like that to happen. But we got some parts in, and I'll show you what we got. Well, after the tree decided to deny me my landing, got a new set of the heavy-duty EXP rear arms for this thing. Also, I had one of the stock EXP shock standoffs still on there. All the other ones I upgraded with the heavy-duty M2C Racing shock standoffs, but this side still had the stock. I don't even know how that ended up on there or for what reason, but at any rate, got another set of those. These are the part numbers for the M2C Racing shock standoff kits, and guys, these are so much better than the stock stuff. Holds up way better. And as you guys can see down here, the hinge pin, the front rear hinge pin block is completely twisted forward, and that thing, the pin snapped, all of it came apart. So I went ahead and got the set of the M2C Racing hinge pin kit. These are the fixed hinge pins. They got a full nut on either side, keeps all that squeezed together. And what that does is it keeps it pulled together so that when you have those nasty landings, it doesn't pull all that pressure, and it equally distributes that pressure on the front and rear hinge pin brace instead of just one. Definitely holds up way better. I have done it on all my Creighton XLs, and I think on the Typhon 6S also. But guys, we're going to get this stuff fixed up and get the ARRMA Italian back together again. Going to go ahead and just pull the whole rear diff off this thing, make it way easier. I'm just going to pull the tower-to-tower brace and the rear center brace, get that pulled off, and that way I can work with just the whole back end of this thing and get this thing back together. So I'm going to go ahead and start dismantling this, and I'll bring you guys back in a moment. So I got everything pulled off the old A-arm, and most of the A-arm held in there. As you can see, it took one nice chunk out of the end, but the hinge pin itself is completely sheared off. I don't know where the rest of it is, but that's all gonna go in the trash. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and tear this thing off, get the rear bulkhead torn off this now, but I did get the new shock standoff installed on here, so that shouldn't be breaking anytime soon because all the other ones are all the M2C Racing, and everything else on the car, guys, from that crash held up great. Chassis still nice and straight. Everything looks good with that. She just took a nasty hit on that back corner when that tree decided to body slam the car into the ground. All right, we got everything loosened up and torn apart on the upper part of the bulkhead here, the tower-to-tower and all that. And you guys can see the tower-to-tower brace took a good smack too. She's a little tweaked. I might have to try and straighten that out. But got everything else out of here. This chassis, she's got some marks, dirt, scratches. But we're going to go ahead and get the bulkhead pulled out of here now and get this thing on the road. Well, it looks like that was good timing for something to break because the grease in the rear diff is pretty few and far between at this point. So definitely have to grease that thing up. But now you guys can really see the damage to that front lower hinge pin brace. She's a little tweaked forward there. But we're going to fix that up and put something, proper upgrade on this thing. I have not had a single issue with the hinge pin braces after putting the M2C Racing fixed hinge pin brace on this thing. These things just hold up awesome, guys. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get the front and rear hinge pins pulled off. All I got to do is pull those two screws out and those two screws out, and the old hinge pin braces will pop off, and we can go ahead and get the new stuff installed. And like I said, guys, if you guys are going to install these, they do highly recommend red Loctite is strongly advised for the flat 4mm nuts. And you'll see in here, there are the flat ones right there, and then there are the nylon style washers, or nuts, should I say. And but the flat ones are what you want to put the red Loctite in, just to keep those in place. All right, we got the front and rear hinge pin braces off of there. Yeah, I don't think she's too far for this world. You could pull the metal piece out and bang that straight again, but you're obviously going to have to replace the plastic piece anyway. But, when stuff like this fails once, it's going to fail you again, guys. When you start running into common problems with certain pieces failing, that's where you want to start upgrading and putting some proper pieces on there. And as you guys know, I love the M2C Racing products. Stuff holds up great. Made in the USA, and couldn't be happier with this stuff. So let's get this thing fixed up and back in action. And this is how I kind of install mine. Get the red Loctite on there, get the nut almost to the very end. Slide one of your Delrin washers on there, and she should slide right in there. Just like that. Now all we got to do is get the rear set up on here, installed. And now she's going to be back in action, guys. And I'm really excited to get this thing finally on there. And not going to be dealing with these snapping hinge pins all the time. Because it was one big thing I dealt with a number of times on the old Crichton XL. And I haven't had that issue since doing this. So the car needed this from the start. I just never did it. You know, as you guys know, a lot of times I don't just throw upgrades at cars for no reason. I usually try to wait till you start finding those common problems that keep snapping. You know, one time it might be a fluke, a second time and a third time it happens. Yeah, it's time to upgrade that part. And that's usually what I try to do with most stuff. So I get a couple of screws coming loose. Also, I noticed that I'm going to have to change out my rear input cups here at some point. They're starting to get a little worn out. But let's go ahead and get this thing finished up, guys. Now, one little side note, guys. M2C Racing does supply you with the screws and everything to mount your front and rear hinge pin blocks up. However, if you are running an aftermarket differential case like I am, I have the stock plastic cap, but I have the Hot Racing differential case on here. The screws are actually too long, and they start to hit the case on the inside. So make sure you save your own hardware or have slightly shorter screws to fit in there because they will hit the case. The screws they supply you are for a stock plastic case, which they work fine in. But on some of the aftermarket ones, I'm not sure about any other ones. The only one I know about those is a Hot Racing, that they don't work right. But, you know, maybe, you know, Kimberly's from Basher Queen. I haven't got to test her differential cases. I'm definitely interested in giving those a try. They look like some really nice cases. But at any rate, I know you do need a little bit shorter screws on Hot Racing cases. Also, in the packet from Hot Racing, you will see you have a third hinge pin, and they do supply you with an extra one just in case you were to ever bend or break one or strip the threads or something. They give you an extra hinge pin and an extra Delrin insert for the blocks themselves. But look at that, guys. Looking beautiful. Finally got the proper upgrade on here. Got everything tightened down. I'm going to go ahead and throw the nuts on the end here with the washers. Get her all snug back up again. We'll get her back on the car. And when you're done, it should look something like this. But now we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of grease piped in here, like a little bit of icing. Give that a little coating. Spin her around a couple times. Give her another coat. At least now it's some fresh grease in here too, so that's always a plus. All right, guys. Well, the back end's all back together, and we're ready to get her installed. She got some fresh grease in there, new A-arms, new shock tower standoffs, and some proper M2C Racing hinge pin braces, and they look great. Everything fits up beautiful. So let's go ahead and get this thing in the car and get the Italian back in one piece. Well, I'm finally getting it fixed up after I pulled a bonehead move and put one of my droop screws in upside down. And I'm like, why is the A-arm sticking up so far? Yeah. See, everything's not always perfect. All right, well, I've been going over the rest of my bolts, making sure everything else is tight, and I keep finding little random things like this, like body post screws a little bit loose. These front braces, I don't Loctite them because I don't want to struggle getting them out later, but after every heavy bash, and she takes a good beating, definitely good, go over all your screws, all your important stuff, motor mounts, and, you know, braces and all that stuff. Make sure everything's nice and snug and tight. But guys, we got the back end all mounted back up again. She's ready to roll. I'm going to go ahead and throw the tires back on this. And Italian will be ready for another beatdown. Hopefully, we get a decent day. Me and Trevor plan on taking the big old ramp out and giving a bunch of these cars some proper stands. But I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, get the wheels on it, and we'll finish this video out, guys. All right, well, we got her all fixed up and she's ready to roll again. Went over everything else, checked all the bolts, made sure everything was nice and tight. I was missing a body post clip here, replaced that. And these are for the 10th scale cars, which are awesome because you fight way less getting these in and out of here. Snipe right in, pull back out real nice. So I think I mentioned that in one of my other videos. Definitely suggest that. They hold on there just as good as the other ones. I've never had them come out, and they're far easier to get on and off. But guys, the Italian's all fixed up and ready to go. Got the new M2C Racing hinge pin brace in here, and she's ready to rock and roll. Actually, at the moment, every one of my cars is fixed and ready to go. There's nothing broken, actually, at the moment. Even the X-Max, and I know that's amazing right there. But, obviously, Still wintertime, still kind of yucky outside, but it'll be getting beautiful again. We'll be going out and having some fun. But guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed the little shop video working on the Italian hoagie. But that's going to do it. So until next time, y'all, be safe, be careful out there. Peace out, everybody.